So we go into game week 17 and we kick it off tonight with the Derby della Lanterna.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
Hey everybody, so exciting stuff over the last weekend. The top of our league is just becoming extremely competitive. But before we get into the league, Elaine, let's just go over the top game week purchases.
Yeah, so as per usual, we take a look at the best players from the last week and the players that racked up the most points and the players that have been purchased the most this week. Mertens, Simeone, and Zielinski leading that pack as the top three. The two Napoli players bagging in goals and assists at the moment. And Simeone doing a lot of people right in the last match day. He was one of the top week purchases and he did get a goal. Çalhanoğlu, that goal against Roma off the corner kick. He's also been involved in a lot of assists. And as we said last week, Pasalic is probably the man to watch in Europe for goals at the moment.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting Pasalic, but it looks like he's not starting. So it's like, do you risk it or do you not? You never know with...
that's the problem with Gasperini's players, honestly. I don't have any in my team for this reason.
Yeah, top game week sales. So we have Barak, who has a slight injury, but there might be a chance of him actually being back this weekend. Leao, who also has an injury, there might be a chance, but I don't think they're going to risk him. They're going to probably keep him for Napoli. Pellegrini still out with an injury. Koulibaly out with an injury as well. And Milinkovic-Savic, who I also have on my team, he's out for a suspension. Looking at the top team, Elaine, it's very Inter-heavy. Three players there, Bastoni, Dumfries, and Çalhanoğlu. That obviously a good game against Roma, unfortunately for you. But this was a high-scoring week for a lot of players.
Yeah, it was a good week for points. I didn't do great, but because of the fact that a lot of players made points across the board, I landed up not doing too badly, but we'll take a look at that.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the league, it's getting really competitive. So we don't have a new league leader, everyone. We still have the same person, which is Sab White, but they are closely followed. So Ahmed Saeed from Fox FPL 21, they caught up. They're 1 point behind. So that was a 20-point gap. So now that's gone down to 1. And Lomt Maxwell as well, closing the lead. So Snorky's there, always at the back, but the lead of the top three is kind of peeling away. But as you guys can see, a 30-point lead can be finished or devoured within one game.
Yeah, and that's like the difference between first and fifth right now. So exciting stuff at the top of the table. I see you dropped a couple of spots, but it's only a matter of single points there as well, I see.
Yeah, so I was 7th. I am 10th. So it's divided by what? 10 points max, not even, yeah. So we're still there. I just need to have a good weekend and let's see how things go. I think you moving up slowly. Let's check. You're still on page 3. Yep, you're still there. Still in the middle of the table there, but hopefully this week you can get into the second page. I noticed Jack Russell. These guys were first for like 2 weeks at the beginning of the season, so something's happened there that's been quite dramatic.
Yeah, that's only 26 points away from me. So if I get a really good week going here, I should be able to break into that second page.
Nice. So my team for the week. I have made a change also because I have Calabria and Milinkovic-Savic out. Kajon on the bench. Arnautovic, I've already done a sub, so hopefully Arnautovic does start, which they say he might be. But he is suffering from an injury, so there might be an issue there. But I have Musso against Verona, Udinese, Hernandez, Di Lorenzo against Empoli, Karsdorp, Spezia, Bastoni against Roma. Bastoni I just had to put on because he is starting, and Kajon is not. Joao Pedro against Inter, Candreva in the derby tonight, Aramo against Juve. This was the sub I bought. I bought Dzeko against Cagliari. I think he's going to bag some goals. Vlahovic against Salernitana, captain. I think he's going to score there. Salernitana against Milan, to me, is not a team for Serie A right now. And Arnautovic against Torino. So hopefully Arnautovic starts. My big up and airing was Musso against Verona or Reina against Sassuolo.
Yeah, I think you did the right thing there. I would have done the same as far as the goalkeepers go.
I'll wait to see tonight if Arnautovic should be starting or not. If not, I might take a penalty and sub him out for someone else, for another striker. But let's see. I also want to get Aramu out. Like, he is a good point getter, but against Juve, I don't think he's going to get many points. Captain Vlahovic, vice captain Joao Pedro.
Yeah, I like Aramu because he, like Joao Pedro, is sort of the focal point for goals for the team. But I think that Venezia is just at such a low level that there's going to be few and far between for him season-wide.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's take a look at your team.
Okay, so taking a quick look at my team, I've gone ahead and kept Rui Patricio in goal against Spezia. My other option was Milinkovic-Savic against Bologna. That I think is going to be quite a tight game that could go either way. So I'm going to tip it to the Roma goalkeeper, throw Patricio on. I've got Bremer up against Bologna. Like I said, going to be a tough game, but it could end very easily 1-0 for Torino. So I'm happy with this. Di Lorenzo and Rahmani against Empoli should provide me points because I don't see Empoli getting goals against this Napoli, especially if Napoli keep the pressure on the front end. Smalling against Spezia, question marks here, just like with my goalkeeper. How is Roma going to play? Çalhanoğlu is the player that I've actually brought in this week. Zaniolo is the one that's been taken out because he will be missing the next game for suspension. And depending on the scan on his groin today, maybe one other game after that. Fratesi against Lazio in the middle of the park with his into-the-box runs is providing quite a few points this year. Been a surprise. And Candreva tonight in the Derby della Lanterna should light it up just because of the importance of the game. I've gone for Dzeko as the captain against Cagliari. The defense has just been woeful this year. Mertens against Empoli and Vlahovic against Salernitana. I'm expecting a lot from my strikers, and I've actually gone ahead and dropped João Pedro for this game as my gamble to keep the 3 strikers on along with this midfield, and I've dropped the 2 players that are playing against Atalanta as well.
Interesting that you added Çalhanoğlu. I'd say the only thing I maybe do in your case, if this was my team, is Fratesi is a good midfielder. I don't know if he's going to be point getter. And they're also playing Lazio because it depends how Lazio play. I would definitely do João Pedro for Fratesi, but that's my suggestion there. But otherwise, I think it looks good. Roma's playing Spezia, so that's good. I could see you now. I like how you're Napoli heavy now, not Roma heavy, which I suppose Napoli is fighting at the top, so that's good. But
yeah. Well, not really. It's just a coincidence that in this game I've got both of the Napoli defenders playing. Rahmani is normally on the bench for me.
Yeah,
normally João Pedro on. I could even go ahead and do that now. But the thing is, I've got a funny feeling that Napoli won't concede a goal. And if both of those defenders keep a clean sheet, that's points.
Fair enough. Also, a quick question. How did your whole bench thing work out for you last game?
Not great because on the bench, I had players like Rahmani, Di Lorenzo, and Smalling. And both Napoli and Roma conceded bucket loads of goals last weekend. So I landed up getting like nuts.
Yeah, that Inter game. I think if that Çalhanoğlu goal wasn't conceded, I think it would have been a very different game. But
yes and no.
Inter played well.
Inter played well. Roma didn't really show up. So it's a broader discussion that shouldn't be had here on the Fanta Calcio chat, but it is something we should have a chat about.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, there you have it, folks. So those are our predictions for, how teams going into this new match day. It's going to be an exciting weekend of football. I think we start tonight, Friday, and we end Monday night. So there's going to be points spread out. But yeah, it's a lot of football to keep us excited.
Yep, starting with the Derby della Lanterna tonight with Genoa against the Samp and ending with Roma Spezia on Monday. So go ahead and get your formations in, select your captains, do all the necessary, which includes liking and subscribing this channel, and we'll see you next time on the Ping Table.